Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wellness Wednesday. I am Stacy Hendry, and with my colleagues Daryl Moss and Lucy Diana, we are the Synergy 3. Our mission is to promote vibrant health through group wellness programs, focusing on the mind, body, and spirit. And we have Wellness Wednesday each week to talk about different health topics. So today is grab and go breakfasts. I know everybody is short on time, and breakfast is sometimes a challenging meal. You just want to grab something and go. So I'm going to start today showing you how to make egg cups. So everything we do is focused on adding more vegetables to your meals because that's where you get a variety of nutrients. So I'm going to make my egg cups with 3 vegetables today. I'm going to use a pepper, and this is an organic orange pepper. I'm going to use some broccoli, and I'm going to use spinach and a little bit of scallion. So what I have here is a standard cupcake tray. I'm just going to make 6, and I have used a little bit of butter or oil just to grease the entire cup, so the bottom and the sides. So I have those 6 all ready to go. And I'm going to chop up the broccoli. So you have to make it pretty small. So I'm just going to show you by holding the sides of the broccoli. I'm just going to run my knife and make skinny slits in the broccoli and then go the other way. So keep moving my fingers back and try to hold it. And then I get a pretty fine dice. And this, I used about 3 florets. It's about a half a cup of broccoli for the 6 cups. So I'm just going to take the broccoli and sprinkle it in each cup. It's covering the bottom. And of course, if you don't like broccoli, pick a different vegetable. It's perfectly fine. So spread it out pretty evenly. So you can see they're like almost a half full, a little less maybe. And then I'm going to add my pepper. So again, I'm going to cut it very thin strips and then hold it together and go across the other way to make it very fine dice. This is an organic pepper because peppers are on the Dirty Dozen list, which means they have a high level of pesticides on them, so it's important to purchase organic. So this is about 1/3 of a cup of peppers, finely diced, and I'm just going to add a little bit to each egg cup, spreading it out pretty evenly. There you go. Voila. I'm going to add a little bit of scallion. If you don't like the flavor of onion, you don't have to. You can use regular onion too. I'm going to use the white part because it's a little bit more potent. And again, I'm cutting lengthwise to cut it into small cuts going up and down. And then I'm going to go across so it becomes really finely diced. Of course, you can always use a food processor to do this instead and just use the pulse so it doesn't become mush, it gets finely diced. And then I'll use the tip of my knife to just put a little sprinkle in each cup. Smells good. There we go. You can use more or less. I just like a little flavor of onion, not too much. Now I have spinach, which I keep in my freezer. This is organic spinach, baby spinach. And I buy it and I just put it right in the freezer and I use it for smoothies. So I'm going to take a small handful out to add to my egg cups. You can use it fresh, you don't have to keep it in the freezer. And then I'm going to chop this pretty fine too. So going across. Just use my hand to hold the pile together, moving my hand back. And then you can hold the tip of the knife on the board and just go like this. Across to kind of finely dice it. Dice it up pretty quickly that way. And now I'm going to add the spinach to the cups. So the cup looks almost full with the vegetables. But when I add the egg, it will kind of get into the nooks and crannies. So now spinach is getting, it's defrosting, so it's getting a little wet and sticking to my fingers, but I did wash my hands, so that's okay. So there we go. Oops. You can see, got no spinach in this one. Balance them out the best you can. And then I'm going to add the eggs. So 6 cups, I'm using 5 eggs. It depends on the size of your eggs, but that about does it. I've got 4 in here already. I'm going to show you how to crack the other one. Now, Bobby Flay says to do it on a hard surface, and you won't get eggshells. So I just hit it on my counter and then break it up. Seems to work. So 5 eggs, I'm just gonna, well, let me add some black pepper, so fresh ground pepper. And you can add any seasonings if you want, garlic powder, anything you'd like. You can add to the eggs or leave them plain. I'm just gonna fork scramble. I used a measuring cup because it has a spout, so it is going to make it easy to get the egg mixture right into my cups. Let's see where I can put this. So now I'm just going to pour it until it comes to the top of the cup, and it will sink down into the nooks and crannies. Fill each cup. And you can kind of just stir it up a little bit so you make sure you get egg on the bottom. Get all the extra veggies that are on the side into the cup. And I have a little bit left, so I'll just top them off. The other thing you can do is do it in a baking pan. Then it's kind of more like a frittata. And you can cut it into squares. These are really nice, just easy to grab when they're single cups like this, but also just I've done it in a baking sheet and cut it into squares, and that's pretty simple too. So now I will put this in the oven at 350 for about 25 minutes. And voila. So I baked these earlier. After they're done, you just take a knife and kind of go around the muffin tin to loosen it up, and then they pop out. And these, I like them cold. You can also warm them up, but and they'll last a couple of days in your refrigerator. And you figure it's a little less of it than 1 egg in each, because I use 5 eggs for 6 cups. So if you had 2, you'd be getting about close to 2 eggs. And some vegetables, so they're a handy breakfast. They're like a handy snack when you're hungry because you have the protein, you get the vegetables. So I really like these, and they're also, when you have guests over, overnight guests, it's just easy to throw that in the oven in the morning and make a nice warm breakfast for your guests. So they're good for that too. So that's my presentation today. We're gonna go on to Lucy, who's going to show us her grab and go breakfast.
I just want to say you're making me so hungry before my lunch. So it looks delicious.
Thank you. So
Lucy, I'm trying to unmute you. You need to.
Okay, no, I was waiting before I couldn't do it. Hi, everybody. Are you going to spotlight me?
Yep, there you go.
Okay, great. Let's make sure I'm still, okay. So hi, everybody. So I'm going to show you my favorite grab and go breakfast and overnight oats. So here's the finished product. Of course, I use my handy dandy mason jars, different sizes. This is a lot. This one is a biggie. So for the hungry men in your life, and I like this mini size. But it's so easy to make, and it's just making the time to do it the night before and watch just a few minutes. So before I put in the ingredients, I went to Costco and I got excited because I saw this this oatmeal. Too big of a bag though, but anyway, it's called Farmers We Know, and it's actually a sprouted oatmeal, and I love their granola, which I use for a topping on my yogurt, coconut yogurt, and my overnight oats. But what I like about sprouted grains is the fact that sprouting grains is the right way of preparing them for human digestion, because it actually increases the nutrient value of the oats and we get more access to the vitamins. So this is just easy because, right, we don't have to worry about sprouting it. Back in the day, they used to sprout their own grains, but we have companies such as this one that does it for us. So they have the sprouted, like I said, oats and sprouted granola. So that's really good to know because it actually makes it easier to digest. Now, making overnight oats. I have a 1/4 cup, and so there's many, many different variations. This is what I do. So 1/2 cup of oats. I like having chia seeds in mine, and they're high in calcium, and I need the extra calcium. So put some chia seeds. This is a mixed nut butter that I also get at Costco's, and I'm just going to add some of that in here. You can also just use this as a topping, but I'd like to mix it into, let's just go like that. Mix it into the overnight oats. I'm going to put a little pinch of vanilla. I'm not going to measure this out. Good organic vanilla, because I love vanilla. So just put a little bit of that. I'm going to take a cup of plant-based milk. I'm using almond today because that's what I have in the house. So 1 cup of milk to 1/2 cup of the oats. Rolled old-fashioned oats, or oats like what I'm using now, are the best type to use when you're making overnight oats because of the surface area of the oats. They easily absorb the liquid. So if people are thinking, am I eating raw oats? But actually the process makes them pleasant to eat because they absorb the milk. I'm going to put in 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. I love spices. Spices are a healthy addition to any meal. And I like cardamom. So I'm just going to add just a pinch of cardamom. I like the way that tastes. And we can't forget, you can use raw honey. I have the 100% maple syrup on hand, so I'm just going to put a little bit of that. Whoa, that was more than a little bit. Don't mind me. I didn't expect that to be at the top. And now we just mix it. And that is all there is to it, except that my almond butter, I would suggest if you're going to use the nut butter, mix it in the milk ahead of time, because it takes a little bit of an effort to get it to all congeal in here with the ingredients. Now, you need 8 hours for it to set. You can make it the night before and it's ready for you at breakfast. You can let it set in here, and then you can jar it And if you want to layer it, make like a parfait, right? Layer with different ingredients, you could do that. Or I have an example of the smaller jars. You can just fill them as so. I'm going to just leave it there. I don't want to take any more time, but fill it and let it set in the jar itself. Okay, so I'm going to put this to the side. And what I want to show you is that overnight oats are a great breakfast food to have when you have company. And I created something back at Thanksgiving. I went up to Boston to visit my son and I cooked Thanksgiving dinner there. And, you know, I had to do Thanksgiving morning breakfast and the next day we were leaving and I wanted to do a grab and go breakfast. So I jarred the oats and everyone had their own little jar. And then I created an overnight oats bar with all different toppings. So this is so much fun. So a great idea when you're having family over. And I like to eat them cold, especially now in the summer. They're so refreshing. I know that people like to warm it up, so you can take them out of the jar and warm them up in a bowl or in the microwave. But I have dark chocolate chips. Imagine that with banana and maybe some coconut flakes. And then I have my mixed berries and the sprouted gluten-free granola. And you can do nuts. I happen to have sprouted pumpkin seeds handy. And so I just wanted to give you an example of how much fun it is. Everybody gets together and tops their yummy overnight oats. And it's almost like having a dessert, a very, very healthy dessert. High in fiber, antioxidants, and tastes so delicious. So that's my simple presentation today. And I hope that you'll try it because you will really enjoy having this quick grab and go breakfast. Thank you.
Thank you, Lucy. It looks delicious. I love having the choice of toppings.
Yeah, and you know what? I forgot my favorite. This is my favorite. It's very pricey, but you have to top it with coconut yogurt, and this is so, so good. Cocoa Yo, delicious.
You just put a dollop of that on your...
Yeah, here. You know what? I have to show you. Hold on a second. It wouldn't be fun if I don't show you. Let me get a spoon. Let's get a little bit of granola. Let's get some pumpkin seeds. Let's do a few coconut flakes. And here we go. Yum. So, so good.
Nice.
Very nice.
Looks good.
Yummy, yummy.
So we can open it now for questions. If you have a question, you could either hit the raise hand button or wave, and we'll unmute you.
So good.
Hi, Mona.
For the overnight oats, do you let it sit on the counter overnight or in the refrigerator?
Oh, I'm sorry, in the refrigerator.
Refrigerator, okay.
Yes, so delicious. Oh my goodness.
And
Yeah,
for the, sorry.
No, I was going to say, you can make a couple of them and just leave the nuts and the granola till the morning. But, you know, they'll sit a couple days in the refrigerator with the fruit and things like that. And then you just add the crunchy stuff in the morning.
Then with the egg cupcakes, can you put them in those little cupcake papers, or is it better to do it in just the metal tin?
You know what? I was going to try that and I kind of forgot. I don't know if the paper will stick or not. I mean, I would try it on one. I mean, if you have the silicone cupcake, they don't stick to that either. So you probably don't even need to butter it, but I don't have one of those yet. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Stacey, can I ask you a question? How do you get them to stay fluffy? Because mine flatten out.
These actually came way out of the pan when I cooked them. because I filled them right to the top of the cupcake thing. The cupcake is so small, so you kind of need to fill them. Or you could use a big muffin tray too, and you'd get like 2 for 1. But they actually poofed way up, and then they kind of flattened out when they cooled.
Okay.
But they did stay. They're tiny.
They're cute.
I just had one. They're good though. Any other questions? Oh, Romana.
Hi, ladies. It was beautiful what you have. It all looks delicious. I wish you could all come and prepare it for me. That would be ideal.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yes. And as far as I make zucchini pie, which is almost the same as the egg in the muffins. And when I go to a barbecue, I put them in the mini muffins because it's nice that each guest takes one little cupcake, so to speak. I tried it with the cupcake holder, you know, the plastic ones, and it's a disaster.
Oh.
Everything sticks to it. Even though you try to unwrap it or you whatever, it was a disaster. Most of the food remained on the paper.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay.
it's not, so the silicone most likely would be better. But delicious, ladies. Excellent. I enjoyed it very much.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yes.
and zucchini's a good option too for these. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yes. As you said, any vegetable, correct?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just not the watery ones. Things like mushrooms, tomatoes, they might make it a little too wet, but the spinach was okay, so.
Yeah, zucchini tends to be watery.
Yeah, but it seems to be
Zucchini.
okay in
Mhm.
egg cups.
Correct.
Thank you, Romana.
Thank
Linda,
you.
Linda, you had a question?
Not really a question, but I made both of these from previous programs and both delicious. But when I first made the overnight oatmeal, when I had it, I'm glad you said dessert, Lucy, because it reminded me of rice pudding. And when I made it again, I threw in a few raisins and I have it as like a snack at night. I love it with raisins in too. Yeah. It's my new rice pudding.
It is. It's so good for a snack. It doesn't feel like, you know, it feels like you're
Yeah.
having dessert.
Yeah, and I just
would
bought that yogurt
say-
you did, that whatever that yogurt. I haven't tried it yet though, but I just bought. So
This
I'm gonna.
yogurt, this yogurt is so good, Linda. Delicious. I was going to say, I feel like I'm cheating, but then Stacy was going to get mad because I'm using a negative word. So no.
Oh, Cocoa June. So the good thing about that yogurt is it's made with coconut rather than dairy. And a lot of people have issues with dairy products. So yogurt is kind of off the table, but now there's coconut yogurts. So as long as they're unsweetened, and really unflavored, the fruit ones usually have so much sugar, but yeah, it's a really good, you know,
I can't wait to try it.
it's a good food to, especially Lucy's only putting a couple dollops on it too. Any other questions? See, I don't see anybody with a raised hand, so. Okay, well, if you got benefit from this, I hope you will subscribe to our YouTube channel and put a few comments in the comment section if you're watching this on YouTube, and you know, ask any questions and let us know what you think. Lucy?
And Stacy, next week I will speak about fun ways to stay hydrated this summer.
Oh, great.
Okay.
All right, so join us next week and have a great day.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.